liquid glue because it is my favorite adhesive. It's reasonably priced. It does the job with just about everything, and it seals up nicely. You can use either end of this liquid glue, so I almost always use the thin tip end. That way I can use it on thinner areas. But did you know there's actually another end to this? On the other end, there's more like a brush end. Mine's always dry because I never use that end. So you can squeeze it out of both ends. It works both ways. All right. Oh, yeah. So let's take that little 1/2-inch piece and we'll glue it down here. So you can do a couple things. You can leave a little border here so the white shows through too, or you can put it flush to the bottom. I'm going to leave a border this time. I don't think I did that last time. But it kind of is a nice way to use up your scraps. It's already cut to 4 inches that you need for the inside as well as the outside layer, so no problem. And if it turns out that you end up cutting it a different size, I've also put it where it's been a little bit shorter. It still shows it off nicely. All right, let's get some stamping done. Oh, we're not putting any ribbon on, so I can actually glue this right down. So this paper is called Dandy Patterns. I think that's what it's called. Hold on a minute. I'm not allowed to show you the inside of the Celebration catalog yet because it's not live. So I'm just going to take a quick peek to see. Yeah, Dandy Designs is what it's called. And this is Granny Apple Green and Balmy Blue. I'm going to glue this guy down. And if when you cut it, it's not a perfect match, just take your scissors and do a little haircut on the edge. Totally fine. How was your New Year's, Vicki? Did you hang out at home? I did see that you got out and took some things off some decorations off your evergreen tree. It's so warm out there. It's like before the snow comes, why not, right? Okay, scoop this guy down here into place. There we go. So it's got a nice little border on either side. And then I've got 2 pieces here. This white is 2.5 by 5.5. So once again, I'm going to run it the length of that. This also gives me enough space to put 3 of the adorable owls. And funny enough, that's what they're called, adorable owls. So this one here where he's flying and this one where he's standing and waving are both the right size to get 3 down. This one here, you might be a little challenged. You might need to, because of the hat, put just 2 of them. So I'm going to use the flying one this time for something different. Find my blocks. Oh, I know. I was busy crafting today, so using my blocks. And they're all in use as I'm finishing up a project. All right. Hi, Diane. Thanks for popping in. I'm going to just stamp this. So I'm going to color this guy with Stampin' Blend. So I decided a good option is to use Memento ink for stamping. You can use regular classic ink, but it can bleed a little. This helps keep that from happening. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can do the bottom and the top and then slide the guy in the middle so that you've got a little bit of equidistant. Oh, a New Year's Eve dance. That sounds like fun. Oh, look at you. Out till 2 a.m. I was struggling to stay up till midnight. Yep, I don't know. Good for you, though. I'm glad you got out and had some fun. Or you can wing it and go from the top down and do 3. I'm going to do 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top, and 1 in the middle. I'm going to do all my stamping first, because then if I have to scrap the paper or flip it over or something, then I'm good to go. I'm going to sort of wing it. I've got grid paper behind me where I can see a little bit better. I didn't do such a great job on my stamping there. Let's flip them over. See, mistakes happen. It's new it's a new year. We're gonna do it again. Here we go. I'm gonna do 1 on the bottom. Now I could have used my Stamparatus, but it's also set up for Thursday night. Thursday night I have my team meeting here, and so I've got it set up for one of the cards that we're going to do. Do this guy here. There we go, that's better. And then I'm going to slide one in the middle. And this way I have a better chance of getting it to, hi Valerie, good afternoon where you are. I have a better chance of them getting centered. The other thing you can do is like do them super randomly and then everyone thinks that's the way it's supposed to be. That's sometimes the better way to go. So it's going to give this a few seconds to dry and then do some fun coloring. So what I pulled out was my Petal Pink Light and Dark, and that's because I'm going to do the eyes in light and then the beak and the feet in Petal Pink Dark. So I noticed that I did like the edges of the eyes on this one, and I saw someone else's card and they actually had done the part that's just above the I guess the pupil of the eye. Not being too versed with owls, I'm going to use the other end. I cannot tell you which is correct. I don't know if you find this, but I find with my Stampin' Blends, it's almost like a set of two gives you four, because the bullet end and the brush end have a little bit different amount of color that comes through, or tone. So that's kind of cool, an extra one. So Valerie, what were you doing for New Year's? I was at home crafting and eating and hanging out. Others have gone to parties. It was nice and quiet around my house. That's good. I'm going to do the feet. So this one seems to be a little bit lighter here. My son was home. My one son was home hanging out with me. We watched the ball drop in Times Square at time was it? At midnight in Times Square, and I didn't watch the Toronto one. My other son was at a party at a friend's house, and they watched it wherever Ryan Seacrest is. I don't know, we just tuned in the last little wee bit. I was mostly crafting, just hanging out, taking it easy. All right, now I'm moving to my gray granite, smoky slate light. And I'm going to do some or most of this guy. So I'm going to do around his head. I don't know, there's something about the head on this guy that always reminds me when I'm looking at him of Yoda with the ears. That's what comes to mind. He's so cute though. And I love how there's a lot of detail with his hair, or their hair. We don't know if this is a boy or a girl. And so I've done a couple of cards with this set, and you don't need to color it all in. If coloring's not your jam, don't color. You can just stamp them in one color. It doesn't have to be black, any color you want. You can take some creative license and do owls the way you see owls, and then emboss the paper or leave it blank. Color one. If you collage stamp a number of them, just color one, or color one of them has the bow tie on it, just color all the bow ties. Like, there's different ways you can do this. Just hanging around. 5 cards. Wow, that was ambitious. Good for you. Good for you. Were they for a specific reason? I know that I was working on cards for classes and for my team meetings, so I had a purpose in mind for my crafting on the weekend and today, a little bit today. It's fun. Fun having a reason. It's fun just grabbing a stamp set and going for it. All right, so we're getting there. I know it's a little tedious to watch me color, but try to keep the banter going. I've decided what I'm doing on Wednesday, so come on back, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Wednesday, we're going to do What's Up Wednesday, and it's going to be a technique with some foil paper, and I think you're going to love it, because I was trying to come up with, what would be fun to do? What have I not done in a long time? What have I not used in a long time? And I thought, oh, this foil paper I have, the silver one, it's going to be perfect for this. So we've got a little technique going on. I think this makes a really cute card to send to anybody. Oh, so because I chose a different owl, I don't have need of coloring in these parts. That's okay. I could add that color if I want. Actually, I could add a little blue somewhere. I don't know. Would it look really weird if I added blue to the eyes? Maybe. Let's get the scratch paper out and see what we think here. It's going to be really dark. This is light. No, this is dark balmy blue. Oops. A little too dark, I think. I don't think we're going to not mess with this. All right, here's our guys. All done. And to save myself a little bit of time by not having the bow ties. But they'd be cute too. In fact, where's some scratch paper here? Why don't we do at least one bow tie? So you can take the stamp, and you don't have to use all of the stamp. You can just grab your block and stamp. Too many mementos. Just stamp the image. I just really want to get the bow tie. Okay, and I'm going to cut the bow tie out. I'm not going to do 3 of them. I'm just going to do 1. So I'll get I think I'll do my coloring first. Get that out of the way. And then we'll just add 1 bow tie to the flying owl and see how we like that. These smaller areas, I find the bullet tip works fairly well. 11 of the 12 birthday cards. Wow, isn't that wonderful? That's great, Vicki. Those people are going to be very happy to receive the cards. I know it. All right, so now we can just carefully cut out around the bow tie. So normally I don't cut too close to the edge because I want a little bit of a white border, and getting right on the edge is like nearly impossible. But I might need to because I'm actually cutting around some of the fur showing. Okay, not bad. Alrighty. And, whoops, wrong one. We're going to add this here, like that. Alright, let's get a small piece of dimensional. I don't have any minis handy, but I can take this one, and it's going to be a little too fat, so we can trim it down just a wee bit. Just a smidgen. There we go. And then that goes on like so. And there we have it. A cute little bow tie to add there. That's just a little bit of a dimension. All right, and then I had cut a strip that's already 1/2 inch wide for Hoot Hoot, but I think I'm going to do It's Your Day on this one. It fits just as well, and I'm using the Coordinating Granny Apple Green ink. Here we go. Grab the block. Too small. Maybe a little big. I have to tell you, when COVID hit, I don't know what I did. I must have put away a whole bunch of, oops, that didn't go well, a whole bunch of my blocks, size B and C. Well, do you think I can find them now? No, I have no idea where they've evaporated to. I know they can't be far, but they are missing in action. So I need to do a little deep dive in the stamp room here and try to locate them. Probably with all the other things that go missing around here. Okay, So I'm going to just trim these little edges off, and I'm going to hand flag these just to make it easy. Just takes a second to do that. In fact, I may look and see, is that, no, I need both. Sometimes I just do one. Sometimes I do both. Oop. There we go. All right. So we're going to add this to the layer. So the layer is a little bit bigger. It is 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. Got a little bit of extra. Didn't cut too straight here. There we go. So we're going to glue this down and see how it shows through. But it's going to go on the balmy blue, which will be enough to hide the other stamping that I did. Not to worry that I am upside down. I know what I'm doing. Doesn't look like it, but I do know what I'm doing. All right, so there we go. There we go. Pretty much centered. Good enough. And bring our card base back in. And we're going to slide this on. Oops. And I'm so glad to see that the festive pearls are carrying over. I really like those. I know they're very Christmassy in some colors, but I have loved them. Now I kind of eyeballed my left and right on this, but if I wanted to line it up, I know that this is 4 1/8 across, and that's the line in the middle, so then I can line up on the little notches on the bottom to know that this is centered left to right. Okay, and here's my greeting. It's your day. We'll pop that up on a dimensional as well. Give it a little bit of pizzazz. So let me know if you think you'll make this card or a version of this card. Would love to see your creations if you want to pop them in the feed. And then with whatever stamps you have at home, I hope it kind of entices you to take a peek at the adorable owls as your celebration choice, because they're pretty darn cute, I gotta say. All right, so we'll put a couple of these festive pearls. It's the silvers that I just love. I don't know why, I just love these silver balls. They're just different than rhinestones. This one kind of went there, but I'll just put this one here. I've got lots of cranberry, or cherry cobbler rather, left, so I can use those up too. But there's our card for tonight. So thanks for popping in and joining me for a Creative Escape tonight. I will see you on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for our What's Up Wednesday and some embossing with foil paper. Thanks again. Take good care, everyone. Bye for now.